Hi guys, and welcome back to Single, Married, Separated, Divorced, and Single Again, and obviously married again. Anyway, so today I'm going to do a reaction on Love is Blind Season 7, the reunion. I've never really, like in the past, like I've never done like 3 videos on just one season, but this season I think by now you know that we are learning a lot of stuff, not only from the women but from the men as well. There's so many things, like so many red flags, so many green flags, so many yellow flags, or whatever you can call it. But without wasting any time, I'm like, you know what, this is how I feel. And as I usually say, I'm a woman, I have nothing against women, but I feel like women are going through this phase of like, this is what happened in the past, we didn't have any rights, now we're gonna get back at these people and we're gonna put them down. Like, I have no problem with the feminist movement, like to a certain level of like, oh no, we need like to vote, we need to have, you know, like the same rights as men when it comes to voting and all those things, and in general. But I think I have a problem when you want to take the masculinity of men away, because, you know, anything that men do now is almost called toxic masculinity. And I have a problem with that. For example, take Tim, how he acted. Now it's like he's toxic and so on. I feel like he stood his ground. Like, Alex was all over the place, from sleeping, taking a nap when his parents came, and all those things. So, you know what, guys? Let's get into everything, okay? Let's get into everything. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment, and push that notification button. So let's start with first thing first. So, you know, we start with a cast coming in, and they invited like some other previous cast members and all that. But I think for me, I was waiting for Hannah to actually take accountability for what she did to Nick in the pod. But I also was expecting Nick and I don't understand. Nick Lachey and his wife, I was expecting them to actually, but you know what? This is the thing. With all the seasons, right? I have seen them getting people, like, especially the women. Women can get away with pretty much anything. They are not held accountable for anything.
I feel like, you know, you do think I'm maybe sometimes like a level below you. You know what I mean? I just want to be treated as an equal.
I think you get treated like an equal when you start contributing like an equal.
I think the most difficult situation to live through when I was watching it, just seeing like Nick and I's like fun moments. Those were like, you just watch it and you really just see like the really good moments we have. And like the hardest one to watch, I think, was when I went and met Nick's parents. It was just so sweet and so kind. Just thinking that they're gonna watch it, like what are they gonna think and stuff. So it was hard watching. It made me tear up a bit watching it.
But I also found it really difficult to see Hannah and Nick's relationship. And like, for instance, a main scene is the ziplining scene, and he talks to her about, I want to be treated like an equal, and she says, I'll treat you like an equal when you contribute like an equal. And that was really difficult for me to hear, because it seemed like that was a time that Nick was being sincere and open with her, and she kind of shut him down multiple times in that conversation. And I know her, and I know her heart, and so it was
like, even Micah and what's the other, like every single lady or woman that did, you know, like things that is supposed to talk about, if we could reverse it and you put the men being the one doing that, they could have kind of like being in the fire. They are not doing it. Like I say, I don't like, because I'm somebody who's not biased, I don't take sides regardless of, you know, who does what or whatever. And obviously that's like my own opinion depending on what that is. But I feel like Hannah, like at the reunion, actually she was even worse. She was now turning into, like, Nick was trying to say that, oh no, I don't like, I don't understand, people has been coming too much on Hannah and so on. He's trying to defend her. He shouldn't even defend her, because he doesn't even need to be defended, because she was so bad. It's not like, like I said in my previous video, she's not like a mean girl, like a high school mean girl or whatever. No, she's plainly rude. And she's trying to say that that's because I'm direct. You can be direct without having to, like, for example, apparently everybody was like, oh no, Nick called her a grenade and so on. She had so many things to say, you know, like in front of the camera even, about Nick. In fact, she said things about his sexuality that I think was not, we didn't need her to hear that in that sense. Like, you know, why do you thought why did you think the viewers needed to hear about your sexuality or about whether he was bad in bed or not? Like, seriously, I don't understand. And now everything, and you know what? Now I actually understand why, what's his name? Ramsey. I think he was right. I think I'm 110% with him now. Because have you guys seen what Marissa turned into? Like, I mean, she has this thing to protect Ramsey, but she was so into kind of like, oh my God, she was into Nick like crazy. Girl, you were supposed to use that energy or keep that energy for Ramsey, not for Nick. I don't even understand. She actually clearly stated that Hannah was mean.
But I also found it really difficult to see Hannah and Nick's relationship. And like, for instance, a main scene is the ziplining scene, and he talks to her about, I want to be treated like an equal. And she says, I'll treat you like an equal when you contribute like an equal. And that was really difficult for me to hear because it seemed like that was a time that Nick was being sincere and open with her, and she kind of shut him down.
Yet you are so defending him. And you know what? This is the thing, okay? Because remember, this channel is for teaching. This is the thing. So I can't believe that Marissa said on national television that I don't know what the conversation was all about with Ramsey, whether they are not together. And I think that's the thing with women. We are trying to keep this, and we say we don't have an ego. Women has an ego. I think she was trying to prove that, oh no, he didn't really get rid of me. We are still like, she's like on national television, she's admitting that she is F-U-C-K. They are doing it. Like, she's doing that to him. Like, I don't even want to mention the word, right? But I'm like, girl, this dude told you that he doesn't want you. He doesn't want to marry to you. You cried, you begged, and he still stood by his point. But then you come and tell us that you are doing that. Who are you embarrassing? You're embarrassing yourself because it means you are being. And this is a problem, guys. Stop thinking that just because you are still having sex with a guy, that you have him. Well, I think I'm gonna actually put it on both channels. We're gonna talk about sex openly because I know Christian don't want to talk about that. So the reason I'm saying I'm gonna talk about it on both channels is because this channel and the Christian channel, Jesus is Enough Ministry, my other channel, is kind of having some things in common, especially when you talk about marriages, dating, and so on. So actually, I don't know whether it's my next episode or the next one after that, we're gonna openly talk about sex and how important it is to any marriage. So I can openly talk about it because now I'm married, you know, like, anyway. So I don't understand because she is like kind of putting it as if she's boasting, as if she's winning or she won like $1 million something when she's saying it, like, oh no, me and him, like whatever. Like, girl, he didn't leave you at the altar, thank God for that, but he was clearly not into you the way you were into him. And you know what, guys, now I realize that Ramsey was really correct. Like, he was right not to get married to Marissa, because Marissa is actually not, she's not who we think she was. Like, oh, you know what we imagine her to be, like that quiet girl that we thought she was. She wasn't, because at the reunion her true colors came out. And remember, it's being recorded a year after the whole thing, right? So I feel like, what the heck are you talking about when you're saying you're still, you know, F-U-C-K, this guy, and we know that he's not married to you. You guys are not together even up to this moment. So what are you boasting about? You're boasting about you being available and you being easy, and probably, yeah, now we know, right? Anyway, and then we move to, did I touch everything? I think about Hannah, you know what, I will, you know, like the comments on like social media is crazy. I'm gonna put some of them here.
You know, I was a little confused with some of the things that she was saying. Financially literate, respectful. We weren't on the same level intellectually. You know, her perspective and her opinion, I just saw it a little bit different.
Hannah seems to take pride in being a bitch. And I mean, It's a weird thing to be proud about, but okay. I thought she would be a little bit more remorseful than she was. I really did. Watching herself back, she can acknowledge that she says things in a very rude way. She can be mean. And then there's some things that she says later on in the episode that I'm like, oh, so you were being mean on purpose. But anyways, she's like, listen, I said what I said and it might have come off harsh, but I don't regret what was said.
But let's move to Ashley and Taylor. And let's touch base on Taylor and Garrett. I think, yeah, I love them. I love them. I think I said it. There's no much drama there, so there's nothing to talk about except for, like, I think Garrett looks so cute. I think these people were wearing Halloween costumes, I think, because it was done on the 30th. The reunion was done on the 30th, and that's Halloween, right? Anyway, let's talk about Ashley and Taylor and the baby mama stories and so on. Ashley was, I kind of feel, with Ashley and Taylor, I think there's some things that I think she didn't know and she has to kind of accept it. And I have no issue with that because I think in general in relationship, depending on what it is, like, I think there's some things that, especially if it's not like life-changing things like big decisions, like I owe a debt of like 1 million and all that, I think there's some things that you can slowly tell your partner, like you don't have to like bombard her or him with like everything. I understand that. But I feel like there were some decisions that, like some things that Taylor probably didn't tell her that she got to know like when she was already deep in, and sometimes it's hard to get out when you're already deep in. But I think to a certain level, I do agree with her that, you know what, I know everything. He told me everything.
Those kids, that family, they did not sign up for this. I did help a friend and her wife start a family. I stepped in, voluntarily stepped in and helped. Her wife ended up leaving her and left her high and dry. But I don't owe anyone an explanation but my wife.
She was blindsided. She didn't know. It's like insulting to my intelligence. Who do you think has better insight on what's going on, social media or me?
I don't think so.
You could tell that he was trying to lie. Yeah. You just know Tyler and his heart to know that had to be hard to navigate with a friend.
I think like maybe most people like me stuck at the, like I think at the place where he obviously was a donor, but actually the two children, they actually had sexual intercourse for them to be conceived, meaning that there was, well, even if there was no relationship, there was probably a sexual relationship, and eventually he was part of those children, so now he's not part. That's why I'm kind of, wondering like what happened there, what was the truth there. But as she said, she accepted it, and he said that he helped them. And I feel like maybe he actually wants to protect the children because, like, I don't know, maybe he lied because he wanted to protect the mother of the children, because no one needed to know that she actually, because she's lesbian, no one needed to know that now she's actually kind of bisexual in that sense. But at the same time, maybe she wanted attention and she came out. I have no clue, but the thing is, leave them alone. She accepted whatever she accepted that's brought on the table, and that's it. So I don't know. Like, there's some things that another woman can accept that you can accept, and then you can accept things. I've accepted things in the past that I look back now and I'm like, Jehovah, were you crazy? Like, what the heck? I'm more mature now. I was probably younger, I was naive and so on. But, now I'm older. And I think because now I'm older, there's some things, there's some BS that I would not be able to accept from a man. So, and I think one of the things that I share even in my previous advice kind of thing is that you need to make things straight at the beginning. You need to tell the men what you can take and what you cannot take. You guys need to know at the beginning of a relationship, because as soon as you introduce these things later, when you are kind of in, it's hard to get out. And the men, it's hard to accept it because you say, but when we're dating, you're accepting it. So be careful, guys. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment, and push that notification button so that every time we upload any video, you are ahead of your day. And next week, I think it's next week, we're going to be straightforward with our talks. We're going to talk about, I think on this channel, I'm trying to give some tips on things, how to not only keep your the thing is, getting married is very easy. It's staying married that is problematic. So for me, knowing where I'm coming from, the mistakes I made in my past marriage and blah blah blah, and even maybe mistakes that I'm trying to prevent now, I have a lot of tips to kind of give out freely. You don't have to pay it free. But I think next week we're gonna talk about the most, I don't know whether the most sensitive or most hidden topic, which is sex. But yeah, I think, yeah, we're gonna talk about that. So for now, take care from me, Jehovah. Bye.